Good evening. I hereby call to order the December 4th, 2023 organizational meeting of the Board of School Directors of East Penn School District. Will everybody please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have several requests to address the board. Before we let folks speak, I have an announcement to make. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with public comment, speakers should feel free to express their opinion, comment, or question, and understand that this is not an interactive engagement with the board or with the administration. Please direct your comments to the chair, be respectful, not engage in profane rhetoric, and be mindful that others, including students, may be listening. I would request that you consider that protocol when making your comments. For the members of the audience, please also be respectful and refrain from speaking during the public comment period. With that, I will now announce each speaker and their topic. When you step up to the podium, again state your name, and you have 3 minutes with which to speak. Our first speaker will be Cecilia Gerlach.
Hello, everyone. Do I have to give my name and address for the record, or?
You're good.
I'm good. Okay, so I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone who will be getting sworn in tonight. Some of you are right there. And one thing I really just wanted to say to those of you who this is your first time ever winning any kind of office is it's fun, it's weird, it's scary, it's everything. And for those of you who are getting sworn in tonight, and you are a history-making candidate, an extra congratulations to you, because I know how hard it is you put your name on the ballot, you're asking voters to have confidence in you, to vote for you, and then for those who have extra challenges in getting votes, it's even harder. And one thing I didn't realize until now is sometimes the impact that you're having on folks as you're just running, you won't even know that until like 10, 12 years from now, when suddenly a little girl who answered the door with her mom is running for Emmaus City Council. You don't even know. So thank you all for running, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next commenter is Heather Harlan.
Good evening. I just want to say two things. One, how amazing that the candidates over here, soon to be installed into school board, won every single precinct in the East Penn School District except for one. All 5 won every single precinct. And to me, that's a mandate from the voters of the East Penn School District that every single child should be seen and heard, feel valued, and belong in our schools. We have 2 registered Republicans, 3 registered Democrats, and they are proving that voters in East Penn do not want drama. They want cohesiveness. They want all of our kids to feel seen, heard, and belong. I also just want to give a big shout out to Shanta Ford, because she is the first Black female school board member in the East Penn School District, and this is huge. Representation does matter. We have all been in situations where we've seen ourselves. So for example, when I was a little girl, I remember going to the library and finding these nonfiction books, and I came across a book about a scientist who was a woman, and a woman who won 2 Nobel Prizes, Marie Curie, and it changed me. I saw myself in that book, and I thought, wait, I can do this too. And not only that, but she was also Polish, and my family's Polish, and I grew up hearing, typical Polish jokes, right? And I'm like, wait a second, I can also be an award-winning scientist. I can be whatever I want. So Shanta, thank you for paving the way for the other girls coming up behind you.
Thank you for your comment. The next commenter is Imogen Worth.
Good evening, everyone. When I was back here and the pledge started, I felt like I was right back in school. I am a class of 1999 alumna, so, closed out that century. And I'm also a voter and a taxpayer in this district. And I have to say, until a few years ago, I didn't really pay too much attention to who was on school board because I thought, I'm not a mom, so, I just wasn't. But what really caught my eye, actually, was Mr. Levinson's ad that had the test tube, the sign that had the test tube. And I thought, well, I guess he must be into science. So I researched and I thought, oh, wow, great. And I felt good about voting that time. And, as Heather mentioned, this year we also have another really intriguing candidate for me, who won, Shanta Ford, becoming the first Black woman to serve on the East Penn School District Board. It's a historic moment. As Heather said, representation matters. And I think that when we think about Emmaus, right, Hornets, the Hive, and the Hornets really don't get aggressive unless they're protecting their hive. And voters really came out to protect their hive because that hive is paper thin. And I know that if Dr. Waller was here, she would be excited that I read all about Hornets before coming here tonight. But their hive is paper thin, like paper mache. And so it's very delicate. And they work together. And what the Hornets do, the adult Hornets, when they're going out, the workers, is they're coming back and then they're having sweet food to give to the little grubs. So the grubs are like the children in the school district who are really our future. And we are a diversifying community. Our demographics are changing. We're welcoming new people here all the time. And today, our board makes a really great effort in beginning to represent that change and have, Shanta earned her seat at the table. And I just urge the new board to continue. You have the newly electeds have come together in a bipartisan fashion. That's not very usual in politics these days. And so they're united in their values and in combating anti-racism. And I'm just very hopeful for the future of our community. So thank you so much. And congrats to all of you.
Thank you for your comments. And finally, our final commenter is, I believe it's John Irons or Jen. John. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing public comment. And I'm here also to congratulate and to just support and continue to support the incoming directors this year. Many of you I met, some of you I met for the first time on the campaign trail. Some of you we've met in other capacities. And I want to commend you for taking up the work it takes to run even at a school district race, and to ready yourselves for the challenge of leading this school district and making those important decisions, having the conversations, continuing the work of building and talking to people that you practice on the campaign trail to get here. The work of public education is difficult. We're in a moment where when it comes to funding and the experience of families and the issues of poverty and mental health that are facing our children and families, the work is not going to get any easier. And I want to thank you for stepping up to really rise to that challenge and do what needs to be done. And I want to thank the all the board members here for your service to the district and your commitment to making a better community. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who commented this evening. Next, we'll review the certificates of election. The Election Board of Lehigh County has certified the returns of the election held on November 7th, 2023 for the following elected school board members and their total votes. Shanta Ford, 8,429 votes. Jeffrey Jankowski, 8,710 votes. Timothy Kelly, 8,329 votes. Gabrielle Klotz, 8,575 votes. And Joshua Levinson, 8,789 votes. At this time, we'll elect a president pro tempore to oversee the election of officers for the board. I will accept nominations for one member of the board seated at the dais to serve as president pro tempore of this meeting.
Sorry.
No, please.
I nominate Adam Smith.
Second.
Second. It has been moved and seconded to nominate Adam Smith as the president pro tempore for this meeting. Are there any additional nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor, pardon me, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Mr. Smith, you've been elected president pro tempore. You can take the chair seat.
Okay, thank you. Will Shanta Ford, Jeffrey Jankowski, Timothy Kelly, Gabrielle Klotz, and Dr. Joshua Levinson please rise and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of your office with fidelity? Congratulations. Okay, at this time, big decision. Pick a seat. Okay, for our next order of business, we are going to, do I have a motion to nominate one member of the board to serve as president? Oh, we're gonna do. You're good. We're good? You're good. Okay, it's a good thing I'm next to Mr. Fisher over here. Okay. Do I have any nominations for president at this time? Or do,
I'll nominate Josh Levinson.
Second.
second? Are there any other nominations? Okay, thanks, we don't have to do that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations, Dr. Levinson. You can have your seat back.
I don't know what we need to.
Just a quick note of thanks and gratitude to my colleagues on the board for nominating and voting me as president. I'm really looking forward to my third term as board president and working with you all on some really challenging problems that we have going on in the district, and looking forward to doing a lot of great things for our students. Okay, next item of business is to elect a vice president of the board. At this time, I accept nominations for vice president.
I nominate Adam Smith.
Second.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Okay, the motion was to nominate Adam Smith for vice president of the East Penn School Board. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the 2024 school board meeting schedule. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any comments or questions from the board?
I can't believe I have comments about
Okay.
this, but
There's a couple months where we have a board meeting either on a holiday or the day after a holiday. In May, it's the day after Mother's Day. In October, it's on whether you call it Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples' Day. Then in November, it's on Veterans Day. I'm not sure if we actually have schools off on Veterans Day. I think we don't, but it was on a Saturday this year, so it was hard for me to look back and tell. But on the October month, we do have schools closed that day, and I was just wondering if it looks like the 7th of that month. I don't know if I'm asking a big problem in the administration to change it to the 7th, but it was just something that I thought of. It might make it easier for our meetings to be more attended.
Does administration care to comment, or anyone from the board?
I'll just comment, schools are open on Veterans Day. And with regard to the October day, it is typically, specifically for next year, for 2024, October 14th. It is not a day of school for students, but it is a day of professional development for staff. So our buildings are technically still open. We just don't have students in session that day. But ultimately, it's, feedback of the board, and this is the board's meeting schedule. So
Okay.
I just wanted to give you the administrative perspective in terms of schools on that day.
And I think I'll mention this year, we did have school on this, or we did have a board meeting on that same day. Are there any comments or questions? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next item for business is the designation of newspapers of general circulation for advertising purposes. We're going to use the Morning Call, the East Bend Press, and the Easton Express Times. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Actually, I want to do a roll call vote last time. I'll do it this time. Mr. Solly, please call the roll.
Ms. Bowman?
Aye.
Mr. Fegley?
Aye.
Ms. Ford?
Aye.
Mr. Jankowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Ms. Klotz?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Whitney?
Aye.
Dr. Levinson?
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you, Mr. Saul. Next item is under business operations, the signature authorization to authorize the board president, board vice president, board secretary, and treasurer as authorized signers on the East Bend School Board District bank accounts. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions from the board? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Solly, please call the roll.
Mr. Fegley?
Aye.
Ms. Ford?
Aye.
Mr. Jankowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Ms. Klotz?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Dr. Whitney?
Aye.
Ms. Bowman?
Aye.
Dr. Levinson?
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you, Mr. Saul. There are no other items, so moving on to announcements. There was no executive session this evening. Our next regular board meeting is a week from today, Monday, December 11th, 7:30 in this room. With no further business before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, thank you very much and have a good evening.
He's new at the job.
Boy, these short ones.